Welcome to the Chasing Brighter podcast, a show about self discovery and lifestyle tips for moms. We are your hosts. I'm Kelly, a wife, mom of two, and an independent consultant with my own company in Chicago.
And I'm Jessica, a wife, mom of three, and owner of my own outpatient mental health practice in Nevada. You're about to go on a journey of self-discovery as we chase a brighter you. Every single week, we will bring you new episodes that will cover everything from lifestyle and tips to more serious conversations about grief, life, and hardships.
Whether it's a duo episode or we have a guest, you are guaranteed to pick up a new tool or feel less alone. This one is for the moms that have forgotten how to make time to keep their spark alive. Allow this show to be a reminder to always keep chasing a brighter version of you. Let's get into it.
Our October book club is How to Talk So Your Teens Will Listen, and Listen So Teens Will Talk with Adele Faber and Elaine Moslish. Have you started reading, Kelly?
I have not, but I know this book is going to come in handy since my son just turned 13.
I started it. It's a pretty quick Audible, but now I had to buy the book. And then when I was buying the book, it said that it's part of a series. So then I look at the series and now I need to get all the books because it's like obviously their first book, How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen So Kids Will Talk. Obviously, I need to read that one because I have some non-teens. And then they have a book, How to Talk When Kids Won't Listen, Whining, Fighting, Meltdowns, Defiance, and Other Challenges of Childhood. Hello, Giovanni, my 8-year-old. Then they have a book they think you're
How
going
to
to
talk
want
to your husband, your dog.
so kids can learn
Ooh.
for school. And I feel like you and I have, I don't feel like, I know you and I have a lot of conversations about our children's education,
We
right?
do. Yes.
And when they don't study or they get a bad grade, right?
Yeah. And I'm finding that I think that's cool because I'm wondering if it also is about teachable moments. I do think sometimes I miss teachable moments when I can draw parallels to things that are going in school.
I think this is like so many of us parents, but I am listening to the book and I'm like, I'm clearly bipolar because, or I guess I have multiple personalities, I should say, but I'm the mom where I'm like, oh, it sounds like that's really difficult for you. Like I'm reflecting. And then other times I'm like, that's just inappropriate. You need to blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like where you just come down on them or that's unacceptable or, you know what I mean? This is what you need to do or, anyway.
A head biter offer. I'm a head biter offer
Yeah.
and not all
Yeah.
the time. So I need to work on that. I know that I have unfortunately have seen both of my kids use that similar behavior. We're not perfect. We're all trying to do
Yeah.
the best we can.
For me, it's like more about so many example. My teen has a boyfriend and wants to see her boyfriend a lot and doesn't understand why we don't think she needs to see her boyfriend all the time. And I feel like last night the conversation was about me telling her our decision, and that was just our decision, and that's where we were coming from. And I didn't take the time to really hear where she was coming from. Does that, you know what I'm saying? So these are the rules instead of tell me where you're coming from. Because the book is a lot about instead of telling them how to fix things, it's empowering them to fix things themselves.
I can see how that would be highly effective because I know that Wes, who's 13, he does feel that he is mature enough to make his own choices and be informed in a way that he would be making his choices. I always joke with him. I need to look this up, but I was like, if we lived in Egypt in BC, you would be like married and have a job and have kids at 13. I don't know. They would be something, right? Like they're technically an adult in some parts of the world. And so I realized that transitioning from treating him from a kid to a young adult is something I need to work on.
You mean you're lecturing like you need to have these skills because 100 years ago you'd be the head of households? Because I
It's
just
more like
the dog. It was like people were married at 13. And
So to that but that my point is that I didn't articulate it well, but my point is they are old enough to take on more responsibility than we probably give
okay.
them.
Okay.
And I'm used to ruling with an iron fist in some way. Like, we're definitely stricter than most of my kids' friends.
We are too. Yeah,
And
100%.
so some of that we're working on. Wes being older, he can start to make more choices for himself.
Mhm.
One of
Yeah.
those is actually him being allowed to stay up late watching or playing video games.
Oh my god, this is what we just the hammer's coming down on this, and my 12 and almost 13-year-old doesn't understand because everyone else has no bedtime and can stay play video games in their room until 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., and no one's monitoring their sleep, and so
So
we're the creepy parents.
so I think this book's gonna be really great for us. You have
100%.
2 teens or you have almost 2 teens.
You know that I did the math, and there will be a time where I will have 3 teens for 4 months. But anyway, coming October 26th, How to Talk So Teens Will Listen and Listen So Teens Will Talk. Check out the book. You might want to get the Audible or order the book and read it so you can listen along and get more tips.
And we'll include a link, Jess, in our show notes so that you can click there and order your book. Thanks for listening today. Don't forget to subscribe so you can hear our latest episodes as soon as they drop.
If you love today's episode, please share with another mom.
And while you're there, it would be great if you gave us a 5-star rating and review. We'd love to hear from you.
If you want to know more about Kelly and I, want to find more of our blogs, tips, tools, resources, check that out at chasingbrighter.com, and we interact with you on Instagram and Facebook at Chasing Brighter. Thanks. We'll be here next week.